answering for myself, but I hope my colleagues, the answer is yes. And the pilot programs, as I've always said, gives us that ability to control payments and the tax that come to this township. Presently, nearly 50% or 50 cents on every one of your dollars goes to the schools. Pilot programs, hopefully, and I'll interpret that word hopefully in a second, will let us do this very same. Because we will not be paying certain dollars in other areas, we'll be able to accrue more dollars to pay pilot programs to schools, if that case is the decision of this governing body, number one. Number two, the tax rate that we've given you in this township, or the tax you paid in this township, for several years has been zero on the municipal level, zero. This year, 1.9, Mike?
1.7, around 1.7.
1.7, under 2%. Would we like to keep it there? Certainly. Will we try to do that? Yes. Do we have good ratables in order to do it? You've heard from a council that we've added on good ratables that don't have school children in the person now, Barclays Bank, et cetera, is one of them. And those taxes certainly are accrued and can be directed to our schools again. Have we been in touch with the schools as to what's going on with schools population? Ongoing planning board. I distributed through the Economic Development Committee several weeks ago a form showing what the school population was from all of our high density populations in the township. 5 of our major condominium developments. Do we use that as a baseline scale to what's happening today? To some degree, yes, because it is current. Going forward, we know that there are trends that change with millennials, that change the amount of children in the household populations. Are we looking at that? Yes, as well. So we come up with rather accurate averages of schools, children that we're putting in. Are we looking at enrollment decreases and along with increases from the fair share housing issues and settlements? And I want to talk to that in a second. Yes, we have. We are looking at that. Are we committed to these settlements to the courts? Unfortunately, with fair share housing, yes. These are agreements that we have come to that are, what I'm trying to find here, Fred, is sanctioned by the courts, agreed to by the courts.
Under the court supervision.
You know, we're this township, this governing body's taking it on a chin in social media and every other area for what's going on in fair share housing today. Not only this community, but other communities as well and neighbors around us. Hanover Township did the best damn deal in fair share housing than any one of the surrounding communities we have. Talk to those mayors. Negotiating team that we had did a very effective job. We'll get it low and moderates. We were given a sum of 1,000 low and moderate units. That would have been nearly 5,000 market units in total, gross units in order to accommodate that, 20% set aside. Have we brought that down considerably? Not considerably, brought it down immensely in what we're doing. So I hope that answers some of your questions, but if there was something that I've left out,
it doesn't answer much of it. Much of it's talking about the past. I'd like to try to look towards the future. So while work may have been done, I would love to see studies. Sounds like there's a lot of talking going on. I would love to see some studies on what those impacts would be to our residents, again, to our students, who honestly is the future for all of us. Right? Linda has a 5-year-old, I have a 5-year-old. I know there was a lot more people at the last meeting.
we will have
No one, I don't think anyone has questioned. If I can finish, please. Thank you. Thank you, Mayor. So, I don't think anyone, from what I saw at any of the meetings or anyone on Facebook, has questioned the tremendous job that everyone up there has done. I didn't in any of my comments. And you responded a lot about the great work that's been done. I don't think anyone's questioning that. And I think that's why people moved to Hanover Township, because they saw low taxes, good school systems, good quality of life, good opportunity for their property values to increase. I think we've been put in a situation here, and I'm not saying you didn't do a good job negotiating. Coming from a business background, there's certain analysis that should be done before signing agreements. And I think there was lack of analysis when those settlement agreements were signed to truly understand what those impacts would be to the future of Hanover Township, right? And I'm still not sure if they're pilot agreements or not. I can go back, I know what I heard, and being it's on YouTube, it was said they were pilot agreements for River Park by our township attorney, that the entire River Park was pilot with the exception of commercial. Tonight, now I hear, well, no, maybe we still have to go back and do the agreements. Again, it goes back to transparency and the impact on the future of this township, right? And Councilman Gallagher, Mahalko, I appreciate the comments from the Board of Education. I can get a true sense that you really care about the education in the town. But I would love to see some actual studies on the matter, and not a lot of talking. We're talking about this, we're talking about that. I think a lot of the residents' concerns would be eased if we actually saw a plan from the town on, all right, here's what we're forecasting. Here's a pro forma financial analysis based off of some preliminary numbers. At the last town council meeting, you showed the number of units that you were expecting to get from River Park. So if you already know those estimates, you should at least be able to come up with some figures on number of students and payment in lieu of taxes. And with respectfully, gross revenues does not include all revenues with pilot programs, all right? It doesn't include state subsidized rents, which for affordable units would not be included. Correct me if I'm wrong, there's 140 from the last town council meeting, affordable units. Those, if they're Section 8, would not be included in that number, all right? So that impacts that. And Saddlebrook Court, based off of the information that Terry published on Facebook and had a request, for Saddlebrook Court, we only get $24,000. Granted, they are all affordable housing units, right? And I don't want to, for transparency, I don't want to be like, hey, it's 24,000, 0.54 ratio on Saddlebrook, you can get 900 students. That would be misleading and using the wrong information.